Welcome back everybody, it's Diorama Don here once more, and as you can see, the subject this time is of a crossroads somewhere Normandy 1944-45. I've brought back my trusty half-track, which is part of my massive collection of military vehicles, as you know, but I thought I'd bring the half-track out. Man directing his way through over the crossroads. So before we get into how I went about making all of this, please subscribe to the channel. All subscriptions are gratefully received, so click that subscribe button. And if I could just take one moment of your time, I've just started a second YouTube channel, and it is of making magic tricks, how to make them, the illusions and magic tricks. The name of the site is Making Magic Tricks Revealed. I'll repeat that, Making Magic Tricks Revealed. And it's the same principle as I make my models. It will be using cardboard and everyday household objects. So just very quickly, I'll show you the first thing I made. I'm going to have to take the camera out. It is of a guillotine, a hand guillotine. One puts one's hand in there and then presses down, and it looks as though your hand has been cut off. So that's the first video that I've made on the new channel. So please pop over, have a look, and subscribe to that channel as well, because I need subscribers on both channels now. So okay, I won't keep you any further. The rest of the video will be how I went about making my crossroads diorama. Thank you for watching. Okay, then let us begin. 3mm card as usual. I've marked out the crossroads on the card. I didn't want an exact 90-degree crossroads, so it's like a staggered junction there. I don't know if you can see the markings there. So this will be the road, and then the four bombed out buildings on the four corners. So the next thing to do is to cut the base for the diorama, which is a piece of polystyrene, 15 inches by 10.5 inches, I believe. So I'll stick that on there like that, and then that will have a border, again with 3mm card, all around the edges like that. Can you see? And it will protrude quite a lot above the surface there. The reason being, I'll just drop those down. We need to shutter the whole area, ready for the pouring of the mix for the cobbled road. So they go there. Where's that one? Like that. So when these are up like that, I've got a shuttering now for my cobbled street. I can level it off to these pieces, so it will be 3mm deep, and well, it's a little higher because when the cobbled street is down, then I need to lay my pavements. So another set of card that will sit on top there, which are the actual pavements, like that. and I've already marked and cut one. That will be the path going around, and this will be the bombed building. So I've got all 4 to do, but the idea is that one piece of card will be the shuttering for the road, and then another piece of card on top which will act as the curb and the pavements. Got that? Yes? No? Yes? Okay, so I'll do that. I'll get all this stuck up all around, and then I'll lay the grout, the grey grout that I shall make my cobblestones with. Okay, so back in one moment. Okay, so I fixed the cardboard to the polystyrene base. I used wall filler to stick it. I find that's as good a adhesive as anything. Put the border around as well, so we've got this border, and then the first of the 4 pieces of card to represent the 4 corners. They're stuck down in place now, and then I put a coat of wall filler with a little bit of water just to give it more adhesive powers for when I put my grout on. So just an ordinary bag of grey grout from any DIY shop, and mix that up to the consistency of, oh, I don't know what, butter, something like that. So flop that on, and then I can spread that out along the 4 parts of the road. I may not have enough with this batch. Probably have enough for about 3 parts. So spread that out, and now I've got my card. I can use the card then as my depth of the grout that I need. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough. I've done 3 parts of the road, but you can see how relatively easy that is. It's just using the depth of the card. I could even shutter it like you would do a concrete base, but I'll mix some more up. There's not enough here. What a mess. I'll mix some more up and fill in all the roads, and take the excess off this the 4 corner pieces, and then I'll come back and start to mark out the shapes of the cobbles. So this is about an hour after I laid the grout and tamped it down to 3mm, and just clean the 4 corner areas. Then I went across with a ruler and a sharp stick, and just marked out the cobbles vertically like that, going across. There is an optimum time to do this. Too early, it's too wet. If you leave it too late and too dry, then you won't be able to mark it out. But there is plenty of optimum time to do this. So I've done most of it. It's taken me about 20 minutes or so to get this far, and I've done all the vertical lines this way, and then with this little tiny watchmaker screwdriver, then I've just got a few lines, and it's not going to be easy to do over the top of a camera, but basically just marking out each cobble like that. It's getting very dry actually, because it's quite a big area that I'm doing here, and it's getting quite dry now, so I'm going I'm going to have to move my ass a bit to finish this off. Otherwise it'll start cracking when I do this. But once it's dried a little more, then with a sharp stick again, you can just round the corners off a little bit of each cobble. I know it sounds daunting with all these cobbles. There must be 500,000 here, but it's worth it in the end. So they tell me. So only a couple more rows to do, and I've just about made it in time, really. So I'll just finish this. Oh, can you see? Me going through all the trouble of doing this and you can't see a bleeding thing. There we go. Couple more rows, and you've got to make sure that the screwdriver is pointing the right way as well. There we go. Beautiful job. Doesn't need to be that accurate. There we go, that's finished. Thank goodness for that. There we go. There's one cobbled crossroad. You might want to brush all the debris away at this stage, but if you do that, it's just going to go into the cracks. So it's best to wait until it's drier. And then you can brush it away and it won't fall into the cracks. So I'm going to leave it like that. You can see where all the debris is churned up. Okay, I'm going to leave that to dry about another hour, and then I'm going to spend probably another hour with my sharp stick going around each individual cobble just to round them off a little bit. So when I've done that, I can put my other four corners on, which will have my pavements carved into them, and then put the bombed buildings. So I'll be back presently. Okay, so I left my cobbled street to dry overnight, and that's the result. As you can see, I forgot to bring my little, with a sharpened stick, I just rounded the edges off just a little bit on most of the cobbles, just to make them look a little more cobbly. So that's dry now and feeling very cobbly once again. So what I'll do now is, with a different coloured grout, this is just happens to be like a cream colour. As long as it's a different colour, it's getting dry already. I'll put this in between the bricks. Alright, so I'll only do a small area, and then you'll see what I mean. So it acts as the same as you would put mortar between house bricks. So this is just to fill in the gaps. Oh, and then that's it, go on, spill the water. And then with a damp sponge, I can go over. It doesn't matter what the colour is, because I can put a black wash when it's dry to get whatever colour I really want. But that looks okay anyway. When that's dry, that'll be fine. Okay. So I'll carry on and finish off the road. Then I've finished the 4 pavement areas. I've done a video before on how I do this, but it's basically marking out the shape of what paving stones you want. I've kept it pretty simple here. The one I showed you earlier was just too complicated, really. So I've kept it very simple. but just below the line, got a 45-degree angle, turn it round, and then just below the line again, got another 45-degree angle, and then take out the offcut, and that carves out a pavement. But I say, I go into detail on another video I made, how to make pavements. So when my grout is dry there, then I can fit my pavements so that it will look like that. Then I shall put a coat of thinned wall filler so that I can paint whatever colour pavement I'm going to have. So I'll do all that. I'll finish the cobblestone, put these 4 on, come back, and we'll see how we go from there. Okay, so the road is completely finished now. I waited for the light coloured grout to dry and then put a black wash over the top, that's all, just to darken the lighter coloured grout, and then dabbed intermittently with a toilet tissue, just so that it gave patches of light and dark colour. And then when that was dry, I just went over with sandpaper just to lighten up any cobbles that were too dark. So I've got a contrast of different colours and shades of cobble, but I haven't used any paint at all, none at all. Even though there's a difference in shade and colour and texture of each cobble, it's not by paint, it's only by sandpaper, really, because that's what you can do when you've got a concrete road. You just sandpaper any imperfections that you see or want any light or darker colours. So there's my cobbled street done. I stuck my pavements now and painted them grey on the 4 corners. I made this, I made the barbed wire. There's a couple of videos that I've made showing you how I make my barbed wire. Is that going to, yeah. I just make that with chicken wire. But if you look up in my previous videos, it will show you exactly how I make those. These lollipop sticks, barbecue stick, and I just happen to have a little offcut of 3/8 balsa diameter dowel, round stuff. And these are signs from when I bought this. It came with this, because as you know, this is all I've got. So I put that there. That will be blocking that part of the road off with the half track going through the town there. So that's that part of the diorama complete. I'll now put the buildings, the 4 bombed out buildings on the 4 corners. I'll get those cut and marked out and cut out, and I'll be back to show you. Okay, so I've made the buildings for the 4 corners. They are the remains of 4 bombed out buildings of some kind. So I've made them pretty roughly. There's not much finesse in these buildings, really. I've used 3/4 thick polystyrene, and then covered them with 2mm cardboard, just to give them a more flat surface. The only detail is in that one with a window and a door, and this one with just a door. So they're rough as anything, but then, you know, they're only the remnants of what were buildings, so I'm not too worried about that. Anyway, what I shall do is when the filler is dry, that's what I did actually. I gave them a coating of wall filler. So I covered the cardboard, covered the polystyrene, so whatever finish now I put on them, it will stick to it. So what I will do when the filler is dry is give them a coat of various colours of grout, a red grout that I make my bricks with, or a grey grout, which I used the cobble street for. So that it will give a contrast to the four remains of the buildings. So I will do that. When I've done that, I'll fill in these rough areas, these broken areas here, with brick, the bricks that I make, which again I've made videos on a few times now. So my homemade bricks will show the broken buildings, the broken wall. I think you must have gotten all that. I'm not sure I have, but we'll do that. I'll come back and you'll see what the hell I've just been talking about. Okay, so I've finished the buildings. These two have got a red render and a cream and a grey one, just to give it a bit of difference there. What I shall do now is these areas that are the broken part of the buildings, I've made a batch of bricks. This is just red grout and then spread out across a ceramic tile. Cut out all the size of the bricks that I need, that I want. It didn't really matter what the size was, because they're not going to be placed as bricks, only in the broken part of the building. So I'll just release all my bricks like that, and as you can see, it makes a lot. So when I've got those, then with a lot of PVA glue, I'll just place them all along the broken building like that. When that's dry, then I'll put a grey grout between them to make it look as though they're, well, to make it look more real. And then a black wash over everything, and then I'll stick the buildings to the crossroads, and I think then that will be somewhere near complete. So I'll do all the necessary brickwork on the broken part, and come back and show you then. Okay, there we are then, all finished. I put a black wash on the buildings just to give them a more weathered look, and put the broken bricks on the broken buildings, and a layering of rubble all around the place, and my trusty half track, which we haven't seen for a few weeks, being escorted across the crossroads there. Okay, so there we are, a crossroads diorama. I'll give it a whirl. I should really have one of those electronically operated carousels, but I haven't got one. So I'm going to have to do it myself. Ooh. There we go. The crossroads. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much again for watching, and usual thing, please subscribe. As of today's date, the number of subscriptions are increasingly getting closer to the magic 1,000 figure. So I'm hoping on this video that we break the 1,000 mark. Otherwise, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. And happy modeling to you.